Hello, thank you for being a part of this devotional. My name is Christine Casten, and this is Gathering Momentum. And this is the idea of us gathering momentum for our life and our walk with God. There are so many things that we can talk about. There's so many topics out there. But I think one of the things that seems to be at the forefront for me right now is how God is repositioning people. And there's a lot of change that comes in repositioning or being positioned in different places. Sometimes that's an actual physical relocation. Sometimes that's a different change in position, a different job description, if you will. And sometimes it's just how God shifts us in and amongst our normal things that we're doing. And as we're in this place of looking at the repositioning that God's doing, part of the initial part of that usually involves a deep understanding of what God's doing within us. Because a lot of times the position changes aren't just about putting someone in place, like a warm body in a place. It's actually about a different perspective or a different view or carrying something different into that place, and the precursor of that has to do with what God is doing in us to prepare us for that change. So, my question to you is, what is God doing in you? How is he transforming you in this moment so that you can step into that repositioning well and fully? A lot of times with the repositioning, when we're in that place of assessment, God does give us this time of this internal reflection and this understanding of what He's growing in us to prepare us for that repositioning. And in that season, if we choose not to accept or embrace that transformation process, sometimes we don't actually get repositioned. And the reason that happens is because there is a protection for us that God has over us regarding what that repositioning is about. Maybe the warfare, maybe the maturity that's needed, maybe it's the mindsets or even the healing that we need to have to be able to step into that place, so that we do it well, so that we do it in a way that that is the fullness that we can carry. And if we aren't able to make those changes, or we aren't able to embrace that transformation in us that God has on hand for us, then He may not actually reposition us, and that is actually to our benefit. Part of our growth and our maturity has to do with taking responsibility and taking initiative with God to say yes to what He wants to transform in us. The transformation process is not an easy process. It's why many people choose not to do it. It's why many people like to stagnate and just say, I got this, I'm good. But there's something so powerful when the transformation happens. When God moves into our life and He puts His finger on something and says, I want to grow this in you. I want to help you step into this maturing place, or this more mature place, this place of fullness that you don't yet walk in, that I want you to be able to walk in. There's this beautiful relational component that comes with that. As then we get to build our trust in God. We get to see what He's doing in our hearts, and what He's pinpointing and what He's bringing forward, so that we are able to step into that place as the best self that we have in that time and in that place. Is there more transformation? Is there more growth that can come? Absolutely. We're never done. But at the same time, God has something for us in that place that's set aside for this time, but He waits for our agreement in it. And when we agree and we say yes to the transformation, God takes us in a journey that opens us up to more of Him, a stronger relationship with Him, a better heart flow between Him and you. between our hearts and his. And it allows us to move in a place of confidence that we may not have had before. So there's a greater trust, there's a greater faith, there's a greater hope that we're able to move into that new positioning that he has for us, with all of those things coming with us. And then once we step into that new place that he takes us into, there's something that happens in that discovery process and that initial stepping into that position. A lot of times we really don't know a lot of what God's going to do in that place. There are a lot of unknowns. We may have insecurities that come up and say, I don't know if I can do this. This is different. I haven't done this before, or I haven't done it in this way. But in that place, that's where our reliance on God gets to grow to an even greater place, because we're able to rely on him and see what he brings out of us and see what others around us in that repositioning place also may bring out in us. The strength, and the iron sharpens iron, the joys of being able to see what it is to interact with each other in this place and from that new place of maturity. So the repositioning, although initially may seem a little bit scary, it may have a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknowns. There are so many things that God has for us, so many treasures that he has for us in that place, that will ultimately be about bringing his glory into the earth in a new way. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're feeling that you're in a place of repositioning, if you're being repositioned or you've just been repositioned, I just want to encourage you in that, let you know that you're not the only one, but also to let you know that it's a really beautiful place for you to step into, and just a gratefulness for your willingness to say yes to God in this new position, in this new placement, in this repositioning that you have. And I can't wait to see how God shows up in your life in this way and in this new time and place. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week at 11 o'clock Eastern time for a continuation of gathering momentum for your life. And in the meantime, I hope that you are able to see what God's doing in a positioning or repositioning, what he's doing in your heart to bring transformation into your life so that you can step into those new things. And until next time, I'll see you later. You guys have a great time.